자, 이제 여러분들은
You have now
애텀이라는
encountered a company
회사를
called Atomy.
만나셨습니다. 네트워크 마케팅의 역사를 새로
You have
쓰겠다고
now
하는
met a
정말
company
책에 나와
that
있는
strives to do network marketing
교과서에 나와 있는
business
그대로의 네트워크 마케팅을 이 세상에 한번
and
실현해
practice
보겠다고
the
하는
conventional
그런 회사를
principles
여러분들이
of network marketing
만나셨고
in this
또
world. Also,
현재
you have met people that
애텀이라는
have
회사를
succeeded
통해서 성공한 분들을
through
또
Atomy,
여러분들은 직접
whom
보고
you
계신다
can
하는
look
겁니다.
up to.
그러면 이제 여러분들이 어떻게
How will you
성공할
then become
것인가?
successful?
여러분 한 사람 한
How
사람은
will
어떻게
each and
성공할
every one of
것인가
you
하는 거예요.
become successful?
카네기라는 사람이
There was a person, Carnegie,
자기는
who was the
철광왕으로
king of
성공을
steel.
했습니다. 가난한 집의 아이로 태어나서 성공을
He came
했는데
from a poor
자기가
family but
다시
became
가난한 집의
successful,
아이로
and he
태어난다고
thought to
하면은
himself,
내가
if he
과연
was born again
다시
to
또
a
성공할
poor
수가
family, would he
있을까
be able to
없을까
succeed again?
고민을 해본 거예요.
He thought about this
나이가 먹어서
at an
늙어서.
old age.
그랬더니 자기는
After giving it some
다시
thought,
가난한 집의
he
아이로
realized
태어난다고
that even if he
하더라도
was born
100%
again into a poor
성공자가
family, he
될
would
수
become rich again
있겠다는 생각이 든 거예요.
100%.
그래서 10번의
Even if he
가난한
was
집의 아이로
born into a
태어난다고
poor
하더라도
family
자기는
10
10번 다
times
성공자가
again,
될 수가
he would
있겠다.
succeed every single time again.
카네기는 뭘 알고
Carnegie actually
있었냐면
knew
성공의
about
법칙,
the law
성공의 방법,
of success.
성공의 원리를
He knew the
알고
principles
있었어요.
of how to succeed.
그래서
But
그런데
he
많은
realized that many
사람들이
people could
성공을
not
못하고
be
있더라 하는 거예요.
successful.
왜 못하는가 했더니
Why?
자기가 알고 있는 성공의 법칙,
Because
성공의
others
방법을
didn't
모르고
know
있는 거예요.
the law
그래서
of success.
대부분의
That is why
사람들이
most people are
성공을
not
못하더라
able
하는
to
거예요.
succeed.
통계를 보니까
There were
이런
interesting
통계가 있어요.
statistics.
0세에서부터 시작을 해서
Typically, an average person will study from birth until age 30,
그리고 한 60세까지
and they will work
되게
until
일들을
they
합니다.
are 60 years
그리고
old.
60에서
Then most will
90세까지
spend their retirement from
노후를
age 60
보내게 된다.
to 90.
자, 30년 동안
They study
잘
hard
살아보겠다고
for
공부를
30
하고
years to live a good
30년
life.
동안은
For 30 years,
나름대로
most
다들
work
열심히
very
일들을
hard.
합니다. 그런데
But
이 60세쯤 됐을
statistics
때 통계를
show
해봤더니
that by the
1%만이
age of 60, only 1% become successful.
부자가
Only 1%
되더라 하는
have
거예요.
become rich.
이 중에 4%의
4% were
사람은
not
부자는 아닌데
rich,
경제
but they were
문제를
well off
해결은
financially.
못했더라 하는 거예요. 그리고 70%의
And
사람이
70% of the people
일도 없는데
were out of work
돈도 없이
and had to spend their life after retirement without income.
자, 이것이 오래전 통계이고
These statistics are
또
quite out of
다른
date,
나라의 통계이기
and they are
때문에
from another country.
뭐 조금씩의
So there
수치의
might
차이는
be
있을 수가
differences
있습니다.
with
그런데
our
우리가
situation,
공감할 수
but
있는
I
부분은
think
우리 주변에
we can all agree that
100명 중에 1명 정도가 부자
only
소리를
about
듣는다는
1 out of
것은 공감을
100
했을
people
겁니다.
are rich.
그리고 약
And this number of
5% 정도가
5% is
그래도 노후
quite
걱정 안 하고
accurate,
살
representing
만큼은
those
된다.
who don't have to
그런데
worry after
나머지
retirement.
90%,
Then the remaining
95%의
95% of the
사람들이
people
대부분 인생에
have actually
실패자더라
lived
하는 거예요.
failed lives.
자, 왜 이렇게
Many
많은
people
사람들이
could not
실패를
be
하는가?
successful.
그러면 60세에
Why?
이런
If you were
상황에
60 years
처했다고
old
하면은
and put in this
이 노후가
situation,
문제입니다.
your old age could be a problem.
돈도 없는데
There is something
나이를
that
먹으면
follows
반드시
humans
찾아오는 게 있어요.
as
뭐가
they
찾아오죠?
age. Do you know what
질병이
that is?
찾아오죠.
It is
그럼 돈은 더
disease.
많이 들어가고
This
몸은
will cause more
불편해지고
expenses and
젊은
your body
날에는
will become
뭐
unhealthy.
있든지 어떻게 해서
When you're
좀
young, you
뛰어나갈
can
수가
somehow
있는데
manage,
이때는 정말
but this
돈이
is a
필요한
time
때다.
when you really need money.
그런데 요즘에
But there is a
흉흉한
bad
소문이 돌아요.
rumor going around these days.
100살까지도 산다.
They say people will live
120세까지도
until
살
they
수가
are
있고.
120
그러면 이
years
세월이 60년인
old.
거예요.
Then life after retirement
60년
will be
동안
60
돈
years.
없이
To
산다고
live
하는
without
것은
money for 60
가족들에게
years is
엄청난
putting a lot
부담을
of
주는
burden
거고
on your
본인
family.
자신도
You will
정말
have to
힘든
live a
세월을
difficult
살아야만
life as
된다는
well.
겁니다. 자, 이렇게 많은
There must be
사람들이
a reason
실패자가
why
되는 것이
so many
이유가
people
무엇인가
live
하는
such
거예요.
failed lives.
카네기는 보니까
Carnegie
바로
concluded that
사람들이
the
성공의
reason
방법,
was
성공의 법칙을
because most
몰랐어요.
people did not know
자기는 이
the
성공의
law of
법칙이라는 걸
success.
알고
He
있기
knew
때문에 자기가 성공자가 됐다 하는 거예요.
he understand the law of success, and that was why he became successful.
그럼 어떤 사람들이 성공을 하는가?
What kind of people then
성공을
actually
하는
succeed?
사람들이
There is a common
공통적으로
thing that
가지고
rich
있는
people
것,
know
알고 있는 것들이 있더라.
and
그 성공의
that rich
법칙,
people have. These are
이
the
법칙이라고
law
하는
of
것은
success.
누가 아무렇게나 만들어낸다고
It is
해서
not
법칙이 되는
something
게
that is
아닙니다.
arbitrarily decided by someone.
법칙이 되려고 하면
Under the same
동일한
conditions,
조건을
there
주면
must be the
항상
same
같은 결과가
results.
나와야 이런 것을
This is what
법칙이라고
you
얘기를
call a
하는 거예요.
law.
자, 법칙은
A law or principle
원래 있던 거예요.
is something that actually
그래서 이런
already
거를 뭐라고
exists.
그러냐면 원칙이라고
That's
합니다.
why
원칙.
they are
원래 있던
called
거. 또
principles.
원리라고도 얘기를 합니다.
And
그래서 이런 거는 자연 법칙과 같은
And
거다.
they are
자연 법칙.
like the law of
자연 법칙은
nature.
창조주 하나님이 만들어 놓은 이래로 그대로 있는
The
거예요.
laws of nature are created by the Creator, God.
스티븐 코비라고 하는 사람은
Stephen
이것을
Covey
정복향의 원리라는
called
말로
it
표현을
the
했어요.
true north principle.
정복향의 원리라고 하는 것은
This means
그쪽은
that
이미
the
정해져
direction
있다.
north is already determined.
우리는 어떤
This
정해진
tells us
원칙대로,
that all of us
정해진 법칙대로
must take a path
그 길을
in which
가겠다는
success is already
그러니까 내
ensured.
방법대로 하겠다가
You should
아니고
not do this business according to
법칙대로 해야
your
된다는 거예요.
ideas, but
그래서
you must do it
이런 거를
according
자연
to the
법칙이라고도
principle.
하고
And it is
이 자연
called
법칙을
law
농장의
of nature
법칙이라고도
and
얘기를 합니다.
also the law of farming.
농장에서는 농사를 지을 때
When a
반드시
farmer
자연
plants
법칙에
something,
맞도록 농사를
he
지어야
must
합니다.
follow the law of
이
farming.
한반도에서
What
가을에
happens if
뭐를
you
심으면
plant crops
됩니까? 안
in the
됩니까?
fall?
무조건 안 되죠. 언제 해야 되냐면
It will
봄에
surely
자연 법칙에
fail.
맞도록 봄에
He needs to
돗자리를
plant
만들어서
during
모실기를 해서
the
가을 거지를 해야만 되는 것이
spring
자연
and
법칙이고
harvest
그것이
the
농장의
produce
법칙이다.
in the fall. And this is
그래서
called the law of
농부가
farming. If you
농사를 어떻게
observe the
짓는지를
farmer,
우리가
when
잘
he's
살펴보면
farming,
그건 다
all of you
알잖아요.
can know
알기 때문에
how he
그걸
farms,
잘
right?
살펴보면
In the same way,
이
if you
성공의
observe it,
법칙도
and you can also
깨달을 수가
figure
있다
out
하는
the
거예요.
law of
그러면
success.
농부가 맨 먼저
What
하는
then
것이
does the
무엇인가?
farmer do in the very
사람들은
beginning? Some
씨앗을
people
준비하고,
say the farmer must
또 어떤
prepare
사람은
the
아니다.
seeds.
그걸
Some
심을 밭을
say the
준비하고,
farmer must prepare the
아니다.
land.
그거를
Others
돈을
say
사야 되니까
he
돈을 먼저
first
준비하고,
needs money.
아니다. 밭갈이를 해야 된다.
Maybe some
뭐 이런 저런
think
얘기를 많이
he must
합니다.
plow
그런데 농부가
the land
맨
first.
먼저 하는 것은
However, the first thing that a farmer do
얼마만큼 거둘
is
것인가를
decide
먼저
how much he will
그러니까
harvest.
이거를 가지고
This will
모든
decide
것을
all the
결정을
following
하게 되어
decisions.
있다 하는 거예요. 이게 농장의 법칙이에요.
These are
그다음에
called
거기에 맞춰
the
심고
laws
갖고
of
오면은
farming. If the farmer
가을에 내
visualizes
머릿속에 먼저
it,
들어왔던 이
everything in
쌀
his
두가마가
mind,
어디로 들냐면
the
곡간에
sacks of rice in his mind will manifest in his storage in the
이게
fall.
농장의 법칙이에요.
This is the law of farming.
성공의 법칙도
The
마찬가지예요.
law of success
농장의
works the
법칙에서
same way. In the law of farming, the two
곡간에 들어가는
sacks
쌀
of
두가마가
rice
그 곡간에 들어가기
must
전에
first
먼저
appear
어디에
inside the
들어가야 되냐면
farmer's mind
농부의 머릿속에 쌀
before they
두가마가 들어가야 돼요.
manifest in his kip.
내가 어떤 집에 이사를 가기 전에
Before you move to a
그
big
집이
house,
먼저 내
a
머릿속에 들어와야
mental
된다.
picture of the
내가
big
아파트로 갈
house
거냐,
should
단독주택으로
manifest
갈
in
거냐,
your mind before you
50평으로 갈 거냐,
decide
100평으로 갈 거냐,
which and the
이것이
size of
먼저
house
머릿속에 들어온
and the type
다음에
of house.
내가 그 집에
You need to
들어가는
have
거지.
that in the
이 집에
picture
어떻게
in your
살게 됐어요?
mind.
그랬는데
When
글쎄요,
someone asks,
눈 떠보니까
how
이 집이네.
are you
이러는
here?
사람은 아무도
And
없어요.
no one says, I don't know.
우리가 성공자가
In order
되려고
for you to
하면은
succeed,
성공한 나의 모습이
what must you do
먼저
first?
어디에 그려져야 되겠어요? 내 머릿속에.
You must first imagine success in your head. Then the image will become a
우리의
reality.
사원 중에
In our motto,
생각을
there is
경영한다 하는 말이
creating
있어요. 생각을
vision.
경영한다. 그게 머릿속에다가
This literally
생각을
means
경영을 하라 이거예요.
creating a vision inside your
그려내라 하는
mind.
거예요.
You have to draw it in your mind. It is also called managing your
내 인생이
mind
어떻게 될 건지에 대해서
because it is so
머릿속에
complicated.
그려놓으라
You must first have the
내
picture in
머릿속에
your mind.
그려놓아야만이 그게 튀어나오는 거예요.
You must first imagine it before realizing it. If you are not very satisfied with your current life,
3년이나 5년 전에
3, that is because 3 years or 5 years ago, you didn't really draw a clear picture in your mind.
없었기 때문에
You didn't do that.
없었기 때문에
That is why
오늘 또 마음에 들지 않는 삶을 사는
you are not satisfied with your life today.
3년이나 5년 후에
Then, in order to live a
마음에
life
드는 삶을 살려고 하면은
desire life 3 or 5 years later, then today you need to have a clear picture for your desired life in your mind. If you don't have the picture in your mind, I can say I'm confident that 3 years later you will still not be satisfied with your life 7 years later as well. If you want to change that to a satisfying life, right now, you should imagine your desire in your mind. But this can be a very complicated process, right? It is not very simple, right? Why is this so? That's because humans are not simple. Do you know how humans were created? Humans were born with a flesh, and inside the flesh we have the soul and spirit. We are not living alone. We have our family, nation, and natural environment. So they are called environment. We are surrounded by such environmental factors. We have 4 different factors inside us. And when the 4 factors require different things, we need to meet those requirements. That's when you can say that I lived a very satisfied life. First, flesh. Flesh has a strong desire for survival. For example, basic needs like clothes, food, and house, and desire for health, long life. The flesh wants to live an abundant life. Our bodies naturally want to live healthy and long-lasting life. To summarize this, we express this as to live well. Many people confuse the spirit and soul. We just say spirit and soul, but they are separate ideas. But many people don't really have a strong spirit part, so it is not really outstanding. First, you have conscience here for soul. Conscience always has its voice. When you keep ignoring it, it will become weaker, but it will not disappear. If you keep ignoring it, your conscience will become weakened. In the Bible, it also says that the conscience couldn't function properly. The conscience definitely functions properly. Humans also have the desire to love and be loved by the Creator. If you know God, you can understand this easily. The Bible clearly reveals who God is. It says that God is light. It says that God is life. It says that God is love. This means that God is love itself. God did not just create us. God truly wants to live with us forever in a glorious state. I actually want to talk about this for 3 days, but I see so many eyes staring at me, telling me to talk about the flesh. So let me continue with living well. Yes, we must live well. You must love. People also have the desire to know more. If you do not learn, you will regret it at the end of your life. You must continue to learn. Humans also experience all sorts of emotions, right? Humans also have the desire to be emotionally stable. We will sum up this category as
그다음에
to
우리는
learn.
주변 환경에
Humans
대해서는
also
뭔가
all have the
이로움을
desire
끼치는
to contribute
공헌하는
to their
삶을
world.
살고
You all
싶은
have the
욕구를
desire to
가지고 있다
contribute
하는
to
거예요.
this world,
그래서
the environment.
이 네
So
가지가
these four
우리
things make
인간의
up
구성
the
요소인데
human
이거를
desires.
이 욕구를
That is why we
골고루
must
다
plan
만족시키는
well in order
계획을
to
우리가
satisfy
세워줘야만 돼요.
all four of
이거를
these
종합적으로
categories.
생각을
You
해야
must
돼요.
think in a
그래서
comprehensive manner.
우리는
All people must
정말
live
육신적으로 잘
a
살며 정말
balanced
창조주
life,
하나님을
a life that
사랑하고
is loved
사랑받고
by
그다음에
God, that
배우고
loves God,
평안한
a life
감정을
of
가지고
learning with
살고
stable
그다음에 우리는
emotions, a
주변
life
환경에
that
대해서 뭔가
contributes
이로움을 끼치는
positively to
공헌하는
the
이
world.
네 가지를
When you
골고루
are able
만족시키는
to satisfy
균형
all
잡힌
four
삶을
factors, then you will live a balanced
살아야만
life.
된다 하는 거예요. 균형 잡힌 삶은.
A balanced
그러니까
life.
우리의 인생 목표가
Our
뭐가 돼야
life's goal
되냐면 이 균형 잡힌
should
삶이
be
돼야
to
되는 거예요.
achieve this
다
balanced
같이 따라서
life.
해보겠습니다. 균형 잡힌 삶,
Balanced
잘
life.
살며
To live well,
사랑하고
to love,
배우고
to learn,
공헌하는 삶.
to contribute.
요거 외우세요.
Memorize
그래서
these.
우리의 삶의 목표, 내가 살아가는 모습이
You must
이
draw
균형
in
잡힌
your
삶의
mind this
모습이
goal
내
of a
머릿속에
balanced
흐르게
life.
돼요. 그런데 이게 단순하지가 않으니까 한편의
This is, however,
영화처럼
not very
우리
simple. You
머릿속에다가
must insert
그려넣어야
it in your
된다
mind
하는
as
겁니다.
if it's a movie.
그래서 여러분들이 여기에 누구누구의 인생 시나리오를 오늘 저녁에 작성을
Write out
하세요.
your life scenario
내가
tonight.
살고 싶은 3년 후, 5년 후, 10년 후에 내 모습이
Someone,
어떻게 된지를
life scenario.
머릿속에다가 그리고
Write your name here
그것을
first.
한편의 시나리오로
Draw
이렇게
in
작성을
your
해보시라
mind
하는 거예요. 또 한
what
가지,
kind of life you
내가
want to
직급
live
달성 계획을
in
이렇게
3,
쭉 써보세요.
5, and 10
언제쯤은
years.
뭐 가겠다.
Write this
금액
out
이런
in
거는
any scenario.
여러분 선배들이 잘 알고 있습니다.
One more
물어서
thing.
일단 써보세요.
Please write out your plan
양식을
for
보면은
your ranks
이렇게
like
되어
this.
있습니다.
Give
그래서
yourself some time, and the senior members will know very well how much rank you receive. So ask them and
여기에
fill this
있는
out.
요소가
Please look at the
하나라도
form
여기에
here
들어가야
with
되는
me.
거예요. 그러면 우리가 의식주 그러면은 현재는 되게 주택 문제가 남아 있죠.
Different items in each of these categories must be included. When people talk about meeting their basic needs, the priority is usually the issue of housing. You can then write housing here.
현금도 좀 있어야
You also need a
되겠죠. 또 잘
car to
살려고
live well,
하면은
right?
뭐 여행도 좀 다녀야 되겠죠. 우리가 부모에게 효도하는 거 이런 것도 해야
Also need
되겠죠.
cash.
그다음에
You also need to travel once
또
in a while, right?
배우고는 뭐 자녀 교육도 들어가고 자기
And
공부도 들어가고
piety is
그다음에
also
공헌하는
very
삶은
important.
우리가 봉사하는
Your
것도
children's
들어가고
education
또
is
뭐가 들어갈 수
also
있겠어요?
very important. Write down their studies here.
봉사,
Then,
기부
a life of
같이 씁시다.
contribution can
그다음에 또
also
뭐가 들어갈
include
수 있어요?
social service. What else? What else can we put
건강.
here?
예, 건강해야 되겠죠. 자, 이런
Write
요소들을
down
우리가
service or
가지고
donation
있어야 돼요.
here.
그러면은
What else can
이거를
you include
자기가 이렇게
in here?
평가를 한번 해보세요. 이렇게 눈금이 나와
Health.
있습니다. 그러면은 내
Health is very
주택은
important.
내가
There are
정말
the things that we need in
만족스러운가
life.
하는 것을
Next,
여기다가
why
10점
don't we
만점에 몇
evaluate
점인가 표시를
your
해보라
own
하는
life?
거예요.
There are marks here in each
내가
item.
주택은
Evaluate your current
100평에
situation.
살고 싶은데
For example,
25평,
on a scale
그럼
from 1 to
2.5점.
10,
그렇죠?
how your housing situation is.
100점 만점에 25점. 자, 그러면 이게 자기 점수가 되는
What
거예요.
mark would you
자동차.
give you yourself
자,
for your
그러면
house?
여기다가 이제
Give yourself
주택에
then
대해서
2.5.
내가
25 out of 10.
25평에 살고 있다.
This will be the mark for your item.
그런데
Next is car.
결국은 100평까지 가고 싶다.
Let's go back to car. To house. You're currently living in a house that's 80 square meters, but you want a house at 320 square meters. I assume it will cost around $2 to $4 million. If it's outside of Seoul, $2 million. If it's inside Seoul, $4 million.
이렇게 가는데 중간에 50평짜리
Let's just say it will cost $2 million.
사겠다.
Let's say the house you live now costs 400,000. Then you could break down that your goal to buy a house at 165 square meters. Then you must give yourself a deadline too. Write down your current situation, then write down your goal for 2 years and 5 years. Then let's say you will live in this house in 2 years, and then in 5 years you will live in the house at 330 square meters.
현금은 얼마 가지고
You
있어요?
must imagine that house vividly in your mind.
이쪽이 아니고 이쪽으로
Then
가네.
you will have to go
자,
to the
여기
model
원점에
houses, right? You have to research the price as well. How much cash
효도하셔야 됩니다.
do you have?
그런데
You are in there? Well, then
부모님한테 20만
there's a
원,
minus,
30만
right?
원
Give
용돈
yourself a
주면서
zero.
효도한다고 생각하시는
What about
분들 많아요.
pity? You must
용돈을
treat
드릴 게
your
아니고
parents
생활비를
well.
드려야 돼요.
There are many people that think
없어도
they are
200만 원은
looking
있어야 돼요.
after
그래서
their
300만
parents
원.
by giving them
이렇게
$200
매월
$300 a month. You cannot just
그래야
merely give them a small
병원비도
allowance.
쓰시고 생활비도
All
쓰시고
people need
친구들한테
at
뭘 좀
least
사주기도 하고
$2,000.
이럴 거 아니에요.
You must at least give them about
그다음에
$3,000
봉사.
a month.
이것도 계획을 세워가지고
They will need that
하셔야 된다 하는 거예요.
money for the
그런데
hospital bills, right? And they can
내가
treat their
돈을
friends
번
too.
다음에 기부하고 봉사하겠다.
Next
그런 사람 치고
is
내가 제대로
donation
기부하는 사람을 못
and
봤어요.
social service.
어려울 때
You need to
나보다
make
더
plans for
어려운
these two.
사람을 돕는 것이
But actually,
기부고
it's
봉사예요.
very difficult
그래서 회사
to come
매출이
across
아주
people who
적을 때
donate and serve
그때부터
after they
기부를
become
하기 시작을
rich.
했어요.
The true
그러니까
essence of
우리가
donating is to help those who are worse off.
아주
So
회사가
even when
적을
Atomy
때부터
sales were very
돕는
low,
것을
our company
일삼아서
started donating then.
그거 열심히 해야 돼요.
Even when the company
잘 도울 것 같지만요. 그거 열심히
was small,
일삼아서 하지 않으면요. 그거 힘들어요.
We made it
그리고
our goal
이제는
to
돕는 것도 좀 체계적으로
donate.
하려고 그래요.
You might think you will be generous when you are rich, but it's very difficult to do if you don't make it a habit.
그래서
Atomy also plans to help others in a systematic way. We will start a welfare foundation and hire employees. We will try to help others in an efficient manner. Thus, you must have a clear picture in your mind. You must know what kind of car you want to drive.
그래서 우리는 사랑하는 사람이 있기 때문에요.
How will you
반드시
to
잘
respect
살아야
your parents?
잘 살지 못하면요. 사랑도 금이
How
가요.
will you educate your children?
여러분들
And
그냥 사는
everything
사람들이 있죠.
will
그냥
have
사는
to be
사람.
vividly in your mind.
부부간에 그냥
That's
사는
why
사람들.
we must live good lives, because we have our loved ones. If you
어떤
don't
사람이
live
그래,
well,
누가 이혼했다고
the
그러니까.
love will also
아이고,
break
저
down.
정도 대단하다.
Have you seen couples that just live together?
도장 찍으면
Those are couples that
살고
don't really
하는 것도
love each other
귀찮아가지고
anymore.
그냥 살아.
Someone
그냥
once said,
뭐 그냥 저작
It
살지
actually
뭘
requires a lot of
이혼식이라고
energy
그러냐.
to get a
그냥
divorce.
살아 그냥.
There are people who are too lazy to even go through that process. They say, why go through such a difficult process? Let's just live together.
집사람이 좋아가지고 1년을 꼬박 쫓아다녔어요. 그래가지고 결혼을 했어요. 그래서 잘 살았어요.
Actually, I chased
그런데
after my wife for a
하던
full
회사가
year
망했어요.
in the beginning.
인터넷 백화점을 했는데
We ended up
시대를
getting
너무
married.
앞서가기 시작을 해가지고 어려움을 겪고
We actually had a
망했어요.
good life.
그래서
But one day, the company that I started went bankrupt. I was too ahead of my time. So the company that I founded went bankrupt. So our family had to live down in a rundown apartment
그러면 거기에 하얗게 물이
for 3
저기
years.
물방울이 맺혀. 그럼
The
창틀
windows
밑으로
were
물이
very
떨어져가지고
cold,
창틀 밑에가
just
곰팡이가
like before, right? You have to
시커멓게
cover the
그럼
windows
집에
with
들어가면 퀴퀴한
plastic
냄새가 나.
and do the condensation of
그리고 또
those
겨울에
sheet of
들어가면
plastic.
썩해요.
Then the water will drip
그럼
down
집에
and you will
들어가가지고
have
아이 여보
fungus
물 좀
everywhere.
팍팍 대. 아이
And this will
추워.
cause a
없을
really
때는 돈
bad
아끼는 거
smell in the
아니야.
house. And it was
그러면
also
이제
very
집사람은
cold.
어?
I would
이분은
tell my
추운 걸
wife,
모르는 줄 아세요?
honey, let's
이제 한마디 하는 거예요. 그게.
turn up the
너
heat.
추운데 당신이
When you are
돈안
poor,
벌
you
것
don't have to
같으니까
save.
내가 이렇게 떨고 있는데 뭐
But my
당신만
wife
춥다고
would
그러냐? 요
answer,
얘기인 거예요.
you think I'm
그럼
cold
저는
too?
또 아이 돈 없을
She
때는
would
돈
say
아끼는
something
거
like
아니야.
that.
그냥 퍽퍽 써.
That means that she was also
그러면
cold.
돈 없을
But
때는 돈
because
아끼지 마세요.
I didn't earn money, I
있는
shouldn't
대로 다
complain.
쓰세요.
I will say that
바보들이
you don't
없을
need
때
to
돈은
save when you're
저축이에요.
poor. Just
제가요.
use it. Let me tell you,
3년 동안
don't save money when you don't have
그
money.
추운 방에서
Just spend it
떨면서
as much as you have.
한 달에
Foolish people save
5만
money when
원씩
they are poor.
아꼈거든요. 가스 5만 원만 더 떼면 따뜻해요. 그렇죠? 10만 원 뗄 거 15만 원 떼면 따뜻해요.
In that
5개월.
cold room,
그러면은 1년에
I
25만
save
원.
$50 a month
그럼 얼마요?
by saving
75만 원
on fuel.
아끼려고 내가 3년을
But
떨었어.
with these $50,
나
our
지금
house
생각해도
would
지가
have
떨려.
been warm. It's
이게
just
멍청한 짓인
$250
거예요.
a year.
지금
I was shaking in the
75만
cold
원이
to
의미가
save
있어요, 없어요? 아무 의미가
$750 in
없는
3 years. I'm
이
so angry
75만
about
원
thinking about it right
때문에
now.
3년을
This is a
벌벌
very
떨었다니까.
foolish thing to
그래서
do.
우리 집사람 보고 내가
Does this $750 thing? It means nothing. I had to suffer in the cold for 3 years to save $750. As I said, I told my wife, you shouldn't try to save money when you're poor. Just use it. I knew what she was thinking, that because we are in this situation, because of your mindset, we will continue to argue. That's why men are quite insensitive, right? If I wasn't that harsh with my wife, I don't think we would have fought like that. But I just said whatever was in my mind. And as you can imagine, our relationship started falling apart. We had such a good relationship, but slowly it was breaking down. When I returned home, she just said, "Are you here?" Our dialogue started becoming more and more hostile. She sleep. Heard those words, my world fell apart. My legs started to give up, and my body became weak. I collapsed on the floor just right there. I hugged her legs, and I started to cry. Honey, don't leave me. I can't let you live like this. Let me at least buy you a house first for your retirement. Let me put money in your bank account. Please, I can't. Hugging her, then she just looked at me. No, I already bought her a house. I put a lot of money in her bank account. But now she doesn't say she's going to leave me. That's why we have to live well. When I look at my parents, really, they're so happy that we're doing well. Everyone must live a good life. That's why all these four things are connected. When you become rich, you should help those who are in need, right? Even if for those people, you need to live well. Money is not something that you just accumulate. It's not that. Not at all. The most satisfying thing in the world is to give and bless others. You can know that the true happiness comes when you give rather than when you receive. All the mothers here that are sitting today, you want to receive from your children or you want to give to your children? You want to give to your children, right? All the men here, you want to give to your wife, right? That's why you want to become money. You want money and become rich, right? Therefore, we must live well because we have our loved ones. All of you are sitting here to have a good life, right? All this is to say that you must picture in your mind the life that you want to live as if it was a movie. This movie must play inside of your mind vividly. You can then ask if you can achieve your dreams just by playing this movie in your mind. In conclusion, yes, you can. This is proven, even scientifically. How is this proven? Our bodies actually have a hard time distinguishing reality from the imaginary world. Then, your body cannot tell the difference between whether you're truly a rich person or whether you are just imagining it. That's why we must bring about change in our bodies. Let's say you want to do business with someone. Let's pretend that you venture into a business with money. Your potential partner actually will look at your gestures more than the words that are coming out of your mouth. When you're talking to other people, your expressions or your manner of speech are going to be more important. in moving people's heart
내가 하는 것은 아닌데 친구가 한다고 그러니까
than your words.
뭐 어쩌고 저쩌고 요 따위로
Than the
얘기하면
actual words that you
그
use.
사람이 움직이겠냐 이거예요.
If you say,
친구들한테
this
제일
is not my
해가지고도
business, but
빨리 와봐라.
my friend is
뭔데?
doing it,
오면 얘기해
do you
줄게.
think the other
뭔데?
person is going to listen to
빨리
you?
와. 너 빨리 안 오면
You need to call your
원장한테
friends and
연락하라.
say,
빨리 와.
come here.
뭔데?
What?
돈 많이
I'll
벌
tell
수
you
있는
when you come
거냐?
here. What is
나
it?
혼자 부자 될까?
Come
같이
on.
될까? 빨리 와봐.
If you don't tell,
얘기를 할
if you don't
수가
come,
있어야
I will
된단 말이에요.
tell John
그렇게
about it.
얘기를 하면은 뭔가 싶어
What is it?
쫓아오게 돼 있어요.
I found
근데
something you
그렇게
can earn a lot of
내가
money. Do you want to
바뀌려고
join me?
하면은 내
You want to
생각부터
become
바뀌어야
rich?
된단 말이에요.
You need to have at least this kind of
생각이
confidence.
바뀌면은
If you have this attitude, then your friends will follow
바꿔낼 수가
you.
있어요.
However, if you want to change, first your thoughts need to change first.
내가 생각하는 거하고
If you
실제로
change your
그렇게
thoughts,
이루어지는지를
then you can
구별을
change your
못해요. 자, 여러분
mannerisms.
입안에다가
Shall we do an experiment?
새콤하고 달콤한
I told you that our
성유화를
bodies are not able to
한
distinguish
음식을 넣어드리겠습니다.
between reality
여러분,
and
여러분들이
imagination.
어금니로
Imagine that
차차차차
there's a sweet and
집어넣을게요.
sour
성유알이
pomegranate in your mouth.
톡톡톡 튀기면서 새콤하고 달콤한 석류즙이
There's a handful of
입안에
seeds there,
가득
right? Imagine biting it
입안에서 어떤 일이
into the fruit with your teeth. It's
침이 안
exploding
고이실
inside your mouth.
빨리 병원에
That
가세요.
sweet and sour juice is filling your mouth.
우리는 실제로
What's happening right
석류를
now?
먹었을 때 하고 석류가 들어왔다고
Raise your hand if
생각만
you're
할
not
때하고
salivating.
우리의
If
신체
you don't,
반응은
you need to go to
똑같이
the hospital.
일어나는 거예요.
Your body will react
내가
the
무엇을
same way
생각하느냐에 따라
whether
가지고 내
you're
행동이
actually eating
결정된다.
that pomegranate or
그거는
whether you're just imagining it.
어느 학자는
This shows that
자기
whatever
충족적
it is your
에어리라고
thinking
이렇게 얘기를 했어요.
that will determine your
자기
reality.
충족적 에어.
One expert called this
자기
a
스스로
self-fulfilling prophecy.
자기가 충족할 만큼 풀필이 될
A
만큼
self-fulfilling
예언을
prophecy.
하는 거예요. 그러면 그대로 된다.
This means that people are
여러분이
able to
3천만 원,
determine
7천만 원을 못 버는
their
가장
own
큰 이유는
fate
내가 매달 3천만 원, 7천만 원을 벌어야
just
되겠다는
by
생각을
thinking
안
about
했기
it.
때문에 그러는 거예요.
The biggest reason why you can't
그게
make
가장 큰
30
이유예요.
to 50,000
그럼 그렇게
a
버는
month
사람은 어떤
is
사람들이냐?
that you need to
극소수지만은
imagine
그 생각을 한
making
사람들이
that
그렇게
money.
버는 거예요. 여러분들 머릿속에
That is the biggest
여러분들이
reason.
생각하는 것은
Then what kind of
그대로
people you must be to earn that
그래서 왜
money?
이루어지냐면 여러분들 몸이
You have to
바뀌고
be the
표정이
ones that
바뀌고
have the
말투가
reason
바뀌고 다
to
바뀌어요.
get that money. Your life will turn out just as you imagine it.
이 오늘 여기 오신
Is that your
분들의
body,
모습이
your speech,
그대로
and your
다
mannerism
들어있어요.
will all
언제
change
이 예산을
accordingly.
만들 때 저는 17명을
Imagine
모아놓고 강의를
all
했지만
of you sitting
17만 명, 170만
here
명을 모아놓고
today,
강의하는 거하고 똑같은
just like
내용으로
that.
강의를 했단 말이에요.
When?
왜?
When
제
I
머릿속에는
first
그렇게
started this
들어있었기
company,
때문에.
my first lecture was in front
몇십억
of 17
애터미
people.
회원이 되는 거예요.
I gave this lecture
그렇게
to
된다는
1.7
것을
million
머릿속에 넣어놓고
people.
있고
Why?
그러면은
Because that was already in my head.
수십억이 애터미
There will
회원이
be
되려고
millions
하면은
of atomians
품질은
in the
어떻게 되고
future.
가격은 어떻게 되고
Why? Because I already
그래서
imagined that outcome. If I want there to be million of
지금
atomians,
전 세계 시장을 어떻게
then the next thing that comes to my
해나갈 건지에
mind
대해서
is
수구를 구상을
what
하고
must
있는
be the quality and price for this atomic
거예요.
products.
그렇기 때문에
I'm brainstorming what our company must do in order to become a global company.
제 머릿속에 있었던 분들이 오늘 튀어나온 거예요.
All of you
앞으로
sitting
수십억의 애터미
here
회원이 생긴다고 하면은 그
today,
사람들은 왜
where do you come?
몰려들었냐면은 제 머릿속에 지금 수십억 명의
You were here
애터미
first in my
회원들을 지금
mind.
그리고 있기 때문에
There are going to be billions of Atomy members in the future, and that's going to be possible because I have imagined it first in my mind. I'm creating an image in my mind where billions of members are here, depending on whether that has been initially visualized in my mind, then I start thinking that what I must do in reality. Let me think of the price, the marketing plan, and the strategy that our company must do. The life you have imagined in 3 to 5 years will become your reality. It doesn't take that long to become rich.
여기도 돈 벌어보신 분들이 있을
Don't think that you have to work for the rest of your
부자
life.
됐던 사람들은요.
There are not many people who have
그냥
become
돈
rich
벌릴 때는 무섭게
just by
벌리잖아요.
working their whole life.
그래서 그때 평생 돈
I'm sure some of you have made big money before. If you see people who have become rich,
재미 좋았어 하는
they
얘기
make
하는
a
분들이
lot of money in a short period of time.
있어요. 여러분들
Most
평생
people make a lot of money
벌거나
during that short period of
또는
time. There are some who say money just came by. 3 to 5 years is enough time to build a system that will make money for you for the rest of your life. You are not making money the old way, but through the new Atomy way. I hope you will realize that there's a new path ahead of you. You need to change the way you think. As you engage in this busy Atomy business, you need to imagine the life you desire. What kind of house do you want to live in? What kind of car you want to drive? How will you bless your friends? How will you bless your family? You must take care of those that are here around you. You must balance it well. Then you will be able to live a life of blessing, and you will be able to give to others. You will experience the joy of giving, and as you are feeling with this joy, you will live a successful life. Okay, that's all for my lecture. Thank you for listening until now.